let me show you the true Narukami. Hey guys, it's Jaden Storm coming at you with a deck profile, and as you can probably tell by the deck box, you already can guess what this deck is going to be over. This is my Narukami deck post set 10, and this is a deck that I've been really looking forward to playing. It's a build I have talked about a lot on my channel because we got set 10 delayed and got set 11 first because people were afraid that Dragonic Descendant would do the same thing as it did in Japan. Guys, it doesn't matter if you held it off or not. The deck is still going to be astronomically good. So anyway, guys, I'm going to just jump into this deck profile, and I'm going to explain as much as I can. I took this to my locals today and pretty much ran over everybody with it. The deck is stupid. So anyway, guys, let's just jump right into this. Grade 0. 1. My starter is Ambush Dragon Eradicator Linchu. I do not play Strike Dagger Dragon, even though I do have the necessary components to do the Superior Ride. I would rather get the Break Ride off. I'm not saying it's a bad decision. I just prefer this one. Linchu's it's kind of like the better version of what was that grade 0? It was kind of like the one where it was a lot better. He can hit grade 1 or less. The previous one can only hit grade 0. Pretty much when he boosts an attack that hits your opponent's Vanguard, you counterblast 1, move him to the Soul, and retire a grade 1 or less opponent rearguard. So I do like this card a lot. And plus it helps feed your Soul, which helps for another card in the deck. 4 copies of Sacred Spear Eradicator Pollux for 4 crit. And then 4 Eradicator Yellow Gem Carbuncle for 4 more crit, bringing you up to 8 critical. 4 copies of Eradcator Dragon Mage for draw trigger, and 4 copies of Sayobo for heal triggers. And one of the coolest heal triggers in the game, I might add. Grade 1s. 4 copies of Eradicator Wyvern Guard Gold. Our new Eradicator Perfect Guard. I love this art so much better than the original Gold, even though that card has bailed me out of some serious binds. I just love this art so much better. 4 copies of Eradicator Demolition Dragon. When he's in the front row, he can swing for 10k if you have a Eradicator Vanguard, which this is an Eradicator deck, so it's not that hard to pull off. 4 copies of Ceremonial Bonfire Eradicator Caster. Now, the reason I'm playing 4 copies of this is out of all the other grade 1 Eradicators out there, I think it's still your best option. And plus, I do like it if you happen to open up with a bad hand. Its skill is when you call it to a rearguard and your opponent has 2 or less rear guards, you may discard a card and draw a card. So it's kind of like a one-time Airmo effect. And the other thing is it does have 7k at power, so it can be a decent booster. So I like that as well. And then I play 2 Sword Dance Eradicator Heeson. Since this is a Descendant deck, I like this card for him because it gives him more power. Now, I'm still playing one of these. Now, if you noticed in my Liberator deck, if you watch that, I play 2, what's that card? Lu, the 10k booster for Liberators, and I play 1 Stallion. Well, in this deck, I decided to reverse it because when he boosts Descendant, he's going to be giving him an additional 11,000 power. And sometimes just that extra 1,000 is good. And Descendant is a high-pressure card, so I wanted him to have a really good booster. But if I do draw this before either one of these two, this immediately goes behind my Vanguard Circle. But this is the booster that I normally want behind Heeson. Behind Descendant is Heeson. So, grade 2s, we got 4 copies of Eradicator Spark Rain Dragon. This is our 12k attacker as long as we have an Eradicator Vanguard. 4 copies of Thunder Boom Dragon. And then 3 copies of Supreme Army Eradicator Zuiten. I do like this for my grade 2 ride because if I do use Linchu's skill, I can Counterblast, move to the Soul, pop something, and then flip it right back up and Soul Charge for Heeson. So I do like this card. You just I don't use it for the Superior Ride since Strike Dagger Dragon is not my starting Vanguard. It is a good card though. I will say, since I am playing him, I have thought about. Where are they? Give me a second, guys. I should have pulled these out. I have thought about maybe test playing this. It is a Counterblast 1 card when he's rode as the Vanguard or set to the rear guard, and you can retire one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row, and then they draw a card. I have thought about trying this, so in the comment section below, tell me what you think about this. Because right now my grade 2 lineup is 4 Spark Rain Dragon, 4 Thunderboom Dragon, and 3 Zweetin. So if you do think this would be a good card to give it a shot, let me know. Always love to hear your guys' suggestions, opinions, ideas, concerns. And then finally, grade 3. We play 4 copies of Eradcator, Vowing Sword Dragon, Crimson Dragon of Revenge, as Kai says. His ability is Limit Break. When a Narukami rides him, you gain plus 10,000 power, and you get to retire one of your opponent's units in the front row. And then if he himself attacks your opponent's Vanguard and they have 3 or more damage, he goes up to 13, making him being able to hit cross rides. But all the break ride units that are out there have an ability somehow to get to 13. So, and then finally, the boss of the deck, 3 Eradcator Dragonic Descendant. The Descendant of Dragonic Overlord, the End in my book. Okay, guys, some people in their Descendant deck play 4 Eradcator Dragonic Descendant, and I'm not saying that's a bad option, and I might have started out with 4 Descendant, but the problem is I only have 3. The only thing that I really need out of set 10 anymore is I want 1 more copy of Dragonic Descendant. If you have no interest in playing this deck and you have a copy in your hands and you are willing to deal, let me know. Go check out my most updated trade binder and hit me up. But Eradcator Dragonic Descendant is one of my favorite cards. I love the artwork of this card. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Let me read this card here for you, just in case some of you may not know, even though I'm pretty sure everyone and their dog does, but I'll read it just for fun. His ability is Limit Break. Counterblast 1 and choose 3 cards with Eradcator in its card name from your hand and discard them. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked and its attack did not hit during the battle, you may pay the cost, which is Counterblast 1, discard 3 Eradicators from your hand, and you may restand this unit and it gains +1 critical until the end of the turn. This ability cannot be used for the rest of the turn, so you may only use it once. If you could continually stand him back up and just keep gaining an extra critical, that would be pretty dumb. And then his second ability is a special Counterblast 2 Eradicators in your damage zone, and he gains plus 5,000 power. So this card essentially, the reason I like Heeson in this deck is you break ride him on top of Vowing Sword, that puts him at 21. If I have the free 2 damage, I normally go ahead and Counterblast and put him up to 26. Then if you boost him with Heeson, that sets him to, let's see, 26, that'd be 32. Then you Soul Blast for another 5. That puts him at 37,000 power if you want to attack with him boosted. If not, you can save the boost for the second attack if you're sure they're going to have to guard it. This card, the reason this card was delayed to America, guys, is any Vanguard that can restand itself is deadly. But any Vanguard that when it restands and gains an extra critical is even worse. Because, okay, think about it. You're playing against this thing, and you're at 4 damage, or you're at 5 damage. You have to guard it. There's no choice. You have to, or you're gonna lose. Or you have to gamble on a heal trigger, so you're not faced with many favorable options here. So say you're at 5 damage, first attack, and you perfect guard it. Your opponent's going to Counterblast 1, discard 3 cards, and restand him. So he's going to be at 26 then, and any triggers they get, they're just going to go ahead and stack it on top of him. So you have the potential to see him at highest 36,000 and +1 critical. And if any of those triggers that I just added on there would be extra too. Because if you break ride him and then use his special Counterblast to give him another 5, so he's going to be at 26. If you perfect guard it, God forbid they hit 2 critical triggers on top of that, because he's going to gain another 10, so he'll be at 36, and then when he stands up, he gains an extra crit. So that means he has his base 1 crit power that all the cards in the game have. He gains an additional crit for restanding, so that's 2, and then the 2 critical triggers that, if you were fortunate enough to hit, go on him too. That puts him at 4 crit. That's why this card is dangerous, and you have to know how to play this card. If you are going to play this deck, please, for the love of God, learn how to play the deck. There is nothing wrong with wanting to learn how to play a deck, but if you don't honestly have any idea, ask someone who does. Go online, or, don't just start playing the card, And also, if you are going against this, you need to learn how to defend against him, because there are times when you're going to have to stop him. And if you're an English meta player, you are going to run into this card. He is amazing. So anyway, guys, this has been a build of my Narukami Eradcator Descendant deck, post set 10. The only other thing I really need out of set 10 is one more copy of Descendant. So if you do have a copy of Descendant and you are willing to deal, let me know. You can go check out my trade binder. You can send me a list and say, hey, do you by any chance have any of these cards? I'd be willing to deal my one Descendant if you have it. I have wants all the time, so I said a couple of my wants in my trade video, so if you want to go watch that, go watch my trade book video, and you might get a couple ideas of cards I'm looking for. So anyway, guys, speaking of my wants, I'll probably do a want video before set 12, just so I can get that out there. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, thumbs up this video for me. Please share your comments in the comment section below with me on this card. Tell me if you're like me and you're really happy this card is just out. Because I know I am. I absolutely freaking love this card. So anyway, guys, I hope you all have a very safe and fun holidays. And me and the rest of Shadow Strike want to wish you a happy holidays and a happy New Year. I'll see you guys later.